I'd like to call it to order. If John, you would call the roll.
Yes, sir. Thank you. My name is John Lillard. I'm subbing for Roxana today. We'll establish quorum by calling a roll call vote. Ed Knight,
Here.
Jeff Morris,
Here.
Larry Sims is absent today. Dwayne Rogers,
Present.
Jay White.
Here.
All right, we have quorum. Mr. White's our new board member today. Would you like to introduce yourself or say hello?
Oh, that'd be fine. Most of you here know me, but my name is Jay White, here in Middle Tennessee, just right here out of Davidson County, born and raised. But anyway, I am Dwayne and I are from the same town, and I hope to be able to get along with everybody here. We'll do just fine. Thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. Good to have you on the board. All right, here. At the end of the meeting, we'll have a new business session. So if we have members of the public or anybody joining us online, they can let us know at that time and we'll recognize them. The notice of the May 2024 meeting of the Auctioneer Commission, including the date, time, and location, has been noticed on the website since August 25th, 2023. Additionally, the agenda has been posted on the website since May 10th, 2024. And we would need a motion to approve today's agenda.
Chair would hear a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next on the agenda would be approving the March minutes. If anybody has any changes or revisions, you can let us know, but otherwise we would need a motion to adopt those.
Make a motion to adopt the minutes.
Motion been made. Second.
Second it.
Motion made by Ed Knight, seconded by Dwayne Rogers. All in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Let me scroll over here on my iPad. Next on the agenda, we have the snapshot of the budget. And this is just for informational purposes, but this is our year-to-date budget. It looks like we ended April with a deficit of $1,700 or $1,713. We have a reserve balance of $517,795, and of course this just accounts through April, but it looks like we should end in the black by the end of the fiscal year. And then on your next page, this is on page 7. Roxana put together a license status presentation. It shows the licenses by different county throughout the state and kind of broken down by age range. Let's see here. And then on page 8, that gives us a snapshot right now. So the number in the 2024 column at the top is through April of this year. So you can kind of compare that to previous years. I think we should be on track to kind of maintain the same licensing numbers. Also down in the second box, you can see 2024 compared to 2020. And again, 2024, we're just, these numbers just account through April of this year.
So you don't have any way of knowing how many more are going to come in 2024 versus 2020?
No, sir. In 2023, it looks like we had 51 affiliate brokers. So I would say a good chunk of those would be eligible to upgrade at some point this year.
Right.
One question I'll note on that we've had an increase in the affiliates this year also. You'll notice we already had 22 compared to 51 last year. We're seeing that increase pretty rapidly. And when you look at the numbers down below of 2020 compared to 2024, we actually have more affiliates, but we have fewer principals. Part of that was, I believe, from 2020. When we had COVID, we saw a pretty big drop off on some of the renewals and so forth, lost some licenses. And I think that combined with online auctions, there's just several people that didn't renew.
So explain to me the difference between the top chart and the middle chart. It says principal auctioneers 42 and 23, but then it drops down to almost 1,200. I mean,
No, the top chart is how many new licenses we had each year filed, new initial.
new
licenses.
additional. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
And the bottom one is the actual number
The
outstanding.
total of numbers that we have. Okay,
Correct.
perfect.
I
So
said
this
that wrong.
is the 20, that's the original licensure means new people coming in that have never been
Correct.
licensed before.
Correct.
I got you. Okay. That makes sense. So we may exceed the number of principal auctioneers. That's what, way before, by the end of 2024, be higher than the 2020 number, is what you're saying? Okay, all right. Good information. That's something we'd never have, and I've always often wondered. Any other questions?
All right, thank you. Next on the presentation are the board meeting dates for 2025. As you can see, we've got February 24th, May 19th, August 18th, and November 17th. We can, of course, change those if y'all have scheduling conflicts or whatever, but if not, we would need a motion to approve those meeting dates.
Chair will entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve these dates.
Motion been made by Jay White,
Second.
seconded by Ed Knight. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those dates are approved.
Thank you. Thank you, members. We'll have those posted on the board's website too by the end of the week. Let's see here. All right, next on the agenda is our legal report, and I will turn this over to Ms. Kim Cooper.
Good morning. You have two cases before you today. The first case was an allegation that a price was changed without consulting or explanation to the winning bidder. The respondent did not respond to the complaint despite two requests to do so. So taking the facts as asserted by the complainant, I recommended the civil penalty of $250 for improper or dishonest dealings.
Did the respondent, he didn't reply
No, sir.
at all to any request from the commission?
No, sir. It kind of leaves my hands tied. Would you like?
Y'all reached out to him twice and he never responded at all.
Yes, sir.
That makes no sense. He's been an auctioneer since 2006. I would be in favor of hearing a motion to approve that.
I'll make that motion.
And been moved by Dwayne Rogers that we recommend a legal, I can agree with legal's recommendation of a $250 civil penalty for improper and dishonest dealings.
Second.
Seconded by Ed Knight. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved.
The second case before you was an allegation of unlicensed activity by a respondent. The complaint stated that on this respondent's personal Facebook page that there were advertisements of upcoming auctions at the respondent's shop that did not have the licensed auctioneer's information anywhere on the personal Facebook posts. The respondent did respond, said that they owned a thrift shop, that they occasionally run auctions in the back of the thrift shop. The screenshots provided by the complainant were not in compliance. However, I went and reviewed this person's Facebook page, and the posts that they had set to public that were advertising the upcoming auctions. Everything since they were notified that there was a complaint against them does have all the required information, including obviously the licensee's name and license number. So I recommended a letter of instruction to both the respondent and the licensee. My concern is holding the, I didn't want to assess a civil penalty necessarily because we have a private individual who I think maybe didn't get all the information he should have gotten from the respondent about how to advertise these. But once they found out that they weren't in compliance, took steps and immediately rectified it, which is why I recommended letter of instruction. And to copy the licensee, obviously, to let them know that if they're going to conduct auctions, they need to make sure that whoever's owns the building or is advertising has the proper information.
Any discussion? Chair, hear a motion.
Motion to accept.
Ed Knight has moved to accept the legal representation of a letter of recommendation. All in favor, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Jay White. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion's granted.
Thank you. That's the legal report.
Thank you, Kim. Next on your iPads, Anna will go over the notice of rulemaking hearing, or red line version of the rules.
Good morning. I know everyone is very excited to have more rules since we just had some. So wanted to provide some additional information. So the public automobile auction updates, those are moving through the pipeline right now. We're just awaiting the commissioner's approval, and then they'll go to the governor's office. So it's very likely that we'll have a rulemaking hearing in August. However, we have another set of rules that will also be moving forward. If you recall, a couple of months ago, we talked about the retrospective rule review, where, so previously what happened was a statute was passed by the General Assembly that required all of the departments to go through all of their rules and make certain determinations whether the rules that we have now need to be updated or if they should remain the same. And Assistant Commissioner Alex Martin at that time brought to you all some certain proposed changes that have been made. And so what I have today here is a red line putting those changes into motion. And so what I'll do is I'll just go through the red line of the rules with you. And if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to stop me and I'll be happy to answer those. So the first one is Rule 0160-01-.06. That's examinations. And anytime where you see the red and strike through language, that means we're going to be removing that language. So we're going to be removing essentially the second half of that sentence of that line stating about the examinations. So we're removing a text that says the exams are required to be provided 5 days per week, excluding holidays, provided, however, no examination shall be administered to an applicant who is more than 25 days short of completing the 6 months required for an affiliate auctioneer license. So the reason the exams are still going to be offered at the same amount of time as our testing provider states, that information is already is provided in contract. So setting it out in the rule is not really required. This is more of like a clerical change. And so the same amount of exams will be offered same amount of times to individuals. And then the last portion about the 25 days short of completing the 6 months required for an affiliate auctioneer. That language, not really sure where it comes from, but is not necessarily required for individuals to do that. So we're just trying to simplify the rule. So it'll say the commission shall, in conjunction with the current contractor, administer the examinations on the dates provided by the contractor. And so the contractor is provided to do everything in that rule, just we're simplifying that. Any questions? Okay, the next rule amendment is going to be 0160-01-.11 for civil penalties. So you'll see that we are deleting the civil penalty schedule found in portion 1 and paragraph 1 and in paragraph 3. So a lot of the boards and commissions went ahead and again, we simplified the civil penalty language. Right now it states that it's delineated by the different statutes like 112B1, whatever, such and such. That's a bit complicated. So instead we're just going to delete that specific language and say, in addition to or in lieu of any lawful disciplinary action for a separate violation of statute, rule, or order pertaining to the commission in the amount of $1,000. So the amount in the range is still going to be there. It's just not going to be delineated by the specific provisions in the statute. The same for paragraph 3. Paragraph 1 is for licensed individuals, and paragraph 3 is for unlicensed individuals. So that's the difference between those two, and we're just deleting that schedule. Okay. Number rule 0160-01-.14 fees. Paragraph 5 is going to be removed. So that one states that an applicant who fails a license examination shall pay a fee as set by contract with the Auctioneer Commission license examiner administrator for each subsequent re-examination. So again, this is just a clerical change. If you do have to take the test again, you do have to pay for the test. So putting that in rule just as it's required. Individuals know that as it's going forward. So we're just, again, all of these changes you'll see are not most of them are substantive based, just clerical changes to make things simpler. The next one is going to be rule 0160-01-.23. And that's the retirement of license. So in paragraph 1, it states when you retire your license that you are required to return your certificate and pocket card back to the commission. We don't want those. So we're going to remove that from the rule. So if you need a new license, certificate, or pocket card, of course, when you reapply, that can be provided to you. But we don't want the old ones. And then the next rule you'll see is 0160-0.01-0.29. These are the rules from military applicants. This rule is going to be repealed, which means it's going to be deleted in its entirety. So the department has a overall statute for how military applicants are supposed to be processed. And currently the rule as it is written right now is out of date. So we are taking out all of the military applicant rules from the different commissions, and we're just going to use the one that's being held for the Division of Regulatory Boards within that statute. So everyone is pretty uniform. So military applicants will still have the same changes of the rules related to how their licenses are processed, but it's just not going to be in our specific commissions section, but it will still apply to them. It'll just be in another location. The next one, so now we're moving into the continuing education chapter. So that is rule 0160-03-.03 for basic requirements. So that whole paragraph 3 is basically going to be deleted and replaced. So it is a whole bunch of words just to say that licensees will only receive credit for courses and programs approved by the commission. It's going to simplify that portion there. So the previous language said the same thing, but with a lot more words and a lot more complications. So we're doing that there. The next rule is going to be 0160-0.03-0.06, which is withdrawal of program approval. And so for that rule, we're going to add a new portion to number 3. So basically 3 and 7 say the same thing. The rule portion. So we're going to remove paragraph 7 and number 3, just adding the language of attendees from 7 to we basically combine 3 and 7 into one chapter, one provision. So that's why we're adding or attendees of the program to paragraph 3. And then the last provision that we'll be changing is going to be Rule 0160-.03-.07, and that's the control and reporting system. This is, again, something that's going to be more simplified. We are removing paragraph 2, which states an information data file, including the information required in paragraph 1 of this rule, shall be provided in the state-approved format. When individuals apply for information related to the sponsors programs, they provide it in our format. So it is already something that's required on a specific form. So putting it in rule is not necessarily required here. And then the last provisions that are going to be changed is number 3, removing that paragraph. So upon receiving a written request from the commission, a sponsor shall provide the commission with a copy of the registration form required by paragraph 2C of this rule. So they're still, upon written request, required to provide that information to us. It is just a redundancy that we decided to remove from the rules. And then the last one is in the former paragraph 4, which is the new paragraph 3. Very small change. Cause notification to be sent. Notification be sent to. Changing that to the word notify, because that's easier and simpler. So those are the changes that we're going to be making related to the retrospective rule review. That's everything that was provided to you. The only change you'll see is that originally when the package was presented to you, it had the public automobile auctions rules in there too. But as we know, those are already being moved in a separate package, so it's not going to be in this package here. Does anyone have any other questions for me?
Do you need us to approve this?
Yes, I do need approval to move forward with the rulemaking process.
Any discussion? Chair will entertain a motion to approve the rules as rewritten.
Motion to approve.
Ed Knights made the motion to approve,
I'll
seconded by Jay White. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Good job, Anna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Next on the agenda is new business. I don't think we have anybody. We don't have anybody in person. Dana, is there anybody online that has their hand raised or?
No, we do have one person that joined us on the Teams meeting, but there's no hand raised.
Okay. Well, with that said, I guess we're at the.
If we're done, John, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Dwayne's made the motion. Ed second. All in favor say aye. But we are adjourned.
Thank you, sir.
That's about